What advice would you give to young athletes about taking care of their bodies, their mental well-being, and following their dreams?
Well, first, your body is your capital. It's clear if you get hurt, any freak accident can happen. But if you don't take care of your body and your body lets you down, that will hurt your income. And if you're doing this as a job, you definitely have to take care of your body. I mean, I think there's so many technological advances now that these guys today can do a lot better. I mean, I was walking around with actual knee packs on my knees, and then now they've got these regeneration sleeves on their legs and things
Right.
like that, what I didn't have. Definitely the physical part, eating right, taking care of your body. If you need to lift weights for your sport, things like that to make you stronger is huge, of course. I think one part that is very much overlooked is your mental health, your mental
Definitely
well-being.
overlooked.
That this is not for everyone. This lifestyle is not for everyone to be away from home, be away from your family for up to 9, 10 months during a season, and that can take its toll, definitely. And like I said before, there were a lot of guys that were much better players than me that just couldn't handle it because their mental capacity was not such that they could take being away from home, being away from their loved ones, things like that. And of course, the game mentally wears on you. Bad games, you're frustrated, things like that, off the court. And I think it's important for these athletes today to be able to have an outlet outside of their sport where they get that validation that the sport gives somewhere else. Because eventually we're all going to stop playing.
Right.
Father Time is undefeated. You're not going to be able to play forever.
Right.
So it would be good if and wise if you had something while you're playing that gives you another outlet, another focus, that you're not totally focused on your sport, because the sport can come and go like that. And I think that's a very important part of the mental well-being, that you're not just focused on your sport or your job in that sense, and you have something else that can guide you.
Okay. What are some of the most important things basketball has taught you about life?
Another excellent question. There's a lot of things. The camaraderie between teammates, the also single-mindedness that a lot of us athletes have to actually be able to focus on your sport, on your career. That's helped me, for example, to write my book.
Right.
Once I decided to start my book again after it being in my cellar, I had that single-mindedness to get it done, to finish it, to get that information out there. And without the sport, I wouldn't have done not even a handful of the things that I experienced in my life. And definitely that helped me in many aspects of my life.
Okay. So, last question. When you look back at your journey up until now, which lessons do you think would be the most important to share with someone else on a similar path as yours?
I would guess, like I said, for me, it's all about the ability to adapt, and that's really the single most important part of my journey that I know helped me. And if it helped me, it can help others. Like I said before, I'm impatient by nature. My experience at the University of Arizona wasn't that good because I'm impatient and couldn't wait. At that time, as an 18-year-old kid, I wasn't able to adapt. I couldn't see long term that, hey, if you stay at this school, you will have a very strong chance to making an NBA roster. And at that time in my life, I didn't know how to adapt. I was just so focused on doing what I had to do, or focused on being the best player that I could be, that I couldn't understand that I had to be patient, that I had to adapt. I had to see what that coach wanted from me. If I would have known then what I know now, who knows what could have happened in my life. I'm not one to regret anything, and I don't regret my journey. Nothing in my journey. It happened the way it happened.
Right.
But of course, if you look back on things and you say, okay, I was an 18-year-old and we were number 2 in the country, what would have happened if I would have stayed there?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I have those moments. But still, my path, my journey was my journey, and no one can take it away from me.
Right.
And if I think about adapting, it all happened for a reason, that I maybe learned from that mistake, and it helped me in my career later. I learned how to be patient. I learned how to adapt. So I would really go back to, that's the single most important piece of information that I can give any athlete, regardless of the sport, and really life in general, especially if you're coming to Europe from America, from Canada, from South America, wherever, is you have to be able to adapt to the lifestyle, to the sport that is different, to everything that's going to involve you being here in Europe. You have to be able to be flexible and adapt.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll end it with that. On that great note of adaptability. Adaptability is, of course, always important, regardless of where you are in the world, because, things won't always be the way they were wherever you came from.
Exactly.
You have to be able to, if you want to live in peace or be at peace, you'll need to be able to adapt.
Right.
So, Sean, thanks a lot for inviting us here. Thanks a lot for sitting down to do the interview with us. We really, really appreciate it. We're thankful. I'm very glad I had a chance to meet you, to learn about you, and, of course, to read your book. Thanks for writing the book. I'm sure everyone who reads it will enjoy it and appreciate the time and effort you put into writing the book, and the knowledge that you're sharing with the readers. It's, like I said, it's very important. And I came over as an American football player, and something like that would have been helpful for me as well, just to see a different angle, just to be able to learn from someone else's experience, so I wouldn't have to start from zero. I can just start where you left off, and continue to build from there. So definitely big ups to you for, putting the time and effort to give back in that form.
Thank you.
And again, we appreciate the interview, and
thank you for your time. Thank you for coming out, and I really appreciate the chance to explain my story.
Yeah, thanks.